I'd like to continue to talk about seed and discuss the basics of cutting, treating, and handling seed prior to planting. After your grower secures their seed, it's important that they inspect the seed prior to unloading. This is critical because once the seed is unloaded, it's no longer the responsibility of the seed producer, but is the responsibility of your grower. Obviously, you won't have time to take a sample and send it off to the Path Lab at NC State to get it evaluated before the trucker is on their way back to northern Maine or wherever it is they come from. But you want to make sure the seed is clean and acceptable to the grower. If it's not, the first thing they need to do is contact their broker or their producing grower and let them know that they're unhappy with it and why. Provided the seed looks good, your growers will want to let it warm up in their shop for a couple of days prior to cutting. This prevents injury to the seed. Letting the seed wake up helps it to have less damage at the time of cutting, and it also allows for better emergence once it gets to the field. When cutting, you want your seed to size out around 1.5 ounces to 3 ounces in size, with an ideal range between 2 and 2.5 ounces. Up to 3 ounces, you improve the vigor and quality of the plants growing in the field. Over 3 ounces, though, you're wasting money and potatoes, and you're not making the best use of your land. Under 1.5 ounces, and if the potatoes have a stressful start to the season, you compromise the stand in the field. And so try to keep it between 1.5 and 3 ounces, but focus on that narrower 2 to 2.5 ounce window of potato seed size. As a general rule of thumb, a 2-ounce seed piece is about the size of a golf ball. As they cut, they'll want to size them out so that they know roughly how big the potatoes are. Obviously, a machine can't be exact in its size, but again, they want to have 80% or better in that 2 to 2.5 ounce range, with the outside edges going from 1.5 to 3 ounces. If you're hand cutting seed, it's important to try to balance the number of eyes you have on a seed piece. This is around a 3-ounce seed piece, so it's a little bit small to cut, but for demonstration purposes, you have a stem end and an apical end. The apical end is where the confluence of eyes is. So when you cut it, you want to cut across the apical end so that you get a better distribution of eyes. Treating seed. What's most important here, whether you decide to treat your seed or not, is to make sure you have a 24 to 48 hour resting period between when you cut the seed to when you plant the seed. This allows the tubers to wound heal or suberize. A lot of our growers will use land plaster or possibly fir bark to cover the potatoes after cutting. Some may also apply a fungicide or an insecticide treatment, but more likely in furrow at planting. When these treatments are applied, they need to be applied while the tuber is still wet. And most mechanical cutters will have a hopper to dust the material onto the potato as it's being cut, or spray nozzles to spray the material during cutting. If you're applying it after hand cutting, one of the best methods to do this is using a small cement mixer, putting your cut seed into the cement mixer, and then applying your land plaster or fir bark on top of that as the cement mixer slowly turns. You could also spray a fungicide in there or an insecticide as well to treat your seed. Either way, whatever you do, make sure if you apply a compound to your potatoes after they're cut, that you follow the required PPE for what you're applying. A final note, when cutting your seed, try to time your cutting with your planting. You don't want seed to be left on your shop floor or in your bulk bodies for over a week. You want to plant it after that 24 to 48 hour window has passed and before the seed starts to desiccate because it's sitting around too long. So pay attention to the weather and get it in the field as quick as you can. But don't cut that seed until you've got the proper window or believe you'll have that proper window. I hope this information has been helpful to you. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me anytime.